Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Dobby X listener. It's Peaches by Halo Saximus on AO3. The link will be in the description, and let's go ahead and get into it. The sun was just beginning to rise as you limped back into the bar, keeping as much weight off your now injured leg as possible. You found Dobby at the bar, nursing a half-full bottle of alcohol and an empty glass, and ignored the way your lungs tightened as you attempted to limp silently past him. He only turned to you, frowning. "What the hell are you limping for?" He eyed your leg, seeing the makeshift bandages you'd cut from old tarps in an alleyway, doing little to stop the slow bleeding. The wounds were probably infected now, but you'd worry about that later, after you'd finally had some time to rest. Dobby didn't seem to care how tired you were, though, as he called irritably to you. "I'm gonna have to amputate your damn leg if you're thinking of leaving it like that." You turned to him, swallowing. "I'm going to sleep first. Speaking of, why aren't you asleep?" Dobby's frown only grew deeper as he began filling his glass again. You already knew what he was doing up. You just liked to see him explain himself. "Doesn't matter. Now stop being dumb and show me your leg." You huffed with a small smile as you propped yourself up onto the bar stool next to him, and he moved behind the bar to grab the first aid kit before returning. His words would sting if he actually meant them, which you knew for a fact that he absolutely did not, comparing his talks with you and his talks with anyone else in the league. Furthermore, you never had to ask him for his help with anything, because he was always oddly willing. You'd just been about to go to bed with a bleeding, possibly infected leg, and he'd been waiting to help you without even thinking of asking for his aid. You didn't know exactly what it was between the two of you, but you were grateful for it nonetheless. You'd probably have already ditched the league if it weren't for him. You wouldn't call what you felt towards him to be love. At least not yet, you assumed. But you certainly admired his brash personality, the way he held himself, his sheer devotion to your cause, and you couldn't be sure what Dobby felt for you. But all things considered, you'd take what you could get, so long as you had him. You propped up your leg on the two stools between you. Dobby unwrapped your bandages and scowled at the wounds he found underneath, as if they'd insulted him before digging in the first aid to find the hydrogen peroxide and splash it mercilessly on your wounds. You hissed but didn't shy away, and he continued to treat your wounds haphazardly with other various items he managed to fish out. You were sure he'd been about to stitch your most prominent cut before deciding against it with gauze and moving on to your arms, which weren't nearly as bad but still torn up. "Did you win?" Dobby asked, lifting your legs off the stool and taking the one closest to you to work better. You nodded, trying not to focus on the sensation of his hands against your bare skin. "Gotta say, he managed to get a few good hits in, but I did him in before he could do too much damage." "I can see that." You both fell silent again, and it was nearly deafening. You weren't sure if it was the blood loss or the sleep deprivation that made you speak your mind, but nevertheless, you found yourself asking, "Do you think I'm living up to his legacy?" Dobby paused, knowing exactly what you meant, but seemingly unsure of how to respond. You weren't Stain. No one could do what he'd done as well as he'd done it, but Stain had left his mission up to you specifically. Anyone else that seeked to fulfill his wishes was just a follower, as you were the one he'd chosen. But even after a good 4 years of training, you hadn't been prepared for his defeat, and had been left unsure in his absence. Every night, you came limping back into the bar after being nearly defeated once more, and it made you wonder if such a constant failure was worthy of a title of Stain's successor. But even with this, Dobby seemed to give it serious thought before replying. "He chose you. You gotta be living up to his expectations, otherwise he was dumber than we all thought." You smiled warmly, without having to think. Seeing your expression, he quickly ducked his head and continued patching you up. You noticed that he was a bit more gentle when he reached your hands. He was more gentle with peroxide and slow with wrapping your hand in gauze, making sure it was done properly. He let your hand fall into your lap when he was done. It felt odd not having him hold your hand, as if it was meant to be there. You stood and immediately regretted it, as you began to fall forward, only to be caught by his truly. Dobby held on to you, even as you'd gotten your bearings, and supported you as you began to limp towards the bedrooms. He stayed silent, but was constantly attentive nonetheless, making sure you didn't put too much pressure on your bad leg, and keeping an arm wrapped tight around your middle. You reached your room, and he quickly helped you get situated on your bed. You couldn't imagine yourself having to get up in a few hours, as inevitable as it was, but you were sure you'd have to take the next night off from your villainous duties. It seemed Dobby didn't want you to leave bed either, as he tucked your blanket tight around you, making sure you were comfortable, and staying put perhaps longer than what was normal. But nothing was normal about the League of Villains, and you didn't want him to go either. "You can stay," you croaked. "If you want, I don't mind." He seemed to ponder it for a long moment before sighing, moving around the bed to join you. You could see how he practically sank into the mattress, just as exhausted as you were, and you wondered how long he'd been awake waiting for you. You knew Dobby was never really comfortable around other people, so you took it as an honor as you drifted off together. It made you happy beyond words, knowing he trusted you so much, and it should have frightened you just sleeping in the same room with a man like him. But you couldn't have been any more at peace. Neither of you had been happy for a long time, but in those few moments before you drifted off, you couldn't have been more ecstatic. Alright, so that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!